Hey everybody, and welcome back. For those of you just tuning in, this is Tattoo Collectables, and I'm your host, Eric. Today, we've got a couple pieces of mail, and they're pretty cool. One, total mystery to me. The other one, it's a mystery solved. So, stick around and check that out. Before we get too far in, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and hit the notifications bell if you want to know whenever we're doing a brand new video. When it first hits, you'll be the first one to see it. So, on to this. What's in the mail? What's in the mail indeed. So, we got a couple pieces of mail this week. I'm going to go through the one that I've already opened first. Now, you know, if you've watched this show before, you know that I tend not to like to open things off camera. And the main reason being is I like an honest reaction from myself. I hate faking it, and it's hard for me to fake it. So, but we've already opened this one. This one is a beautiful sheet from 1976. Now, this is a Spaulding and Rogers sheet. This is done by the late, great Don Nolan. Now, before we get too far, the reason that I already opened it is it had a big sticker on the front that said "Handle with Care," and when it showed up, this much of the package was soaking wet, and it came right out of the truck. So anyway, I'm gonna go address that, no pun intended, with the post office Monday. It didn't do too much damage to the sheet, but I hate to see that it did any damage to the sheet, and it did. It did a little bit of water damage right there in the corner. But now it's an identifiable sheet. Now it's definitely the sheet from the show. So the reason I got this, a couple weeks ago, I opened this. It's a really great picture from someone's portfolio from back in the day. And I was saying that it was probably from the mid to late 60s. Now, come to find out, one of my experts that watches this show, and he's my resident Spaulding and Rogers go-to guy. Anytime I have questions about anything Spaulding and Rogers, I definitely get a hold of Tom Spaulding, because he's our resident expert on this stuff. Now, when he saw this picture, he sent me a thing that said it was probably done after 1976. And the reason being is, the reason he said that is, here it appears on the Don Nolan sheet from 1976. So when I saw this sheet, I thought, that's an easy take. Well, I should just grab that so I can put it with the picture of it. And I've actually recently acquired a Don Nolan card that I'll be framing in with it too. I love getting collectibles you can put together. When you put them in a frame, I think they always look better. Like the Kaplan machine or the Mr. Domo machine behind me. I like having multiple things in there to kind of catch people's attention, have them look at it, have them pay attention to this history. So that's what we're gonna do with this. We're gonna put this in a frame, even with a little bit of water damage on it. It breaks my heart, but it's not a deal breaker. So we're gonna put that with the picture and the Don Nolan card. I'll show you all that when I get it all in a frame. I've been framing a bunch of stuff here recently. I got this sheet for, I think I paid $4 for this sheet. Ridiculously low for a sheet stamped, and legit from 1976. I would put a conservative estimate on this sheet of between $40 and $80. That's what I've seen them going for, and it's definitely, it's got the old school smell to it. It's definitely been colored by Prismacolors, but all this stuff came black and white, and when it showed up, guys would color them up, hang them in their shop to sell the tattoos, and that's what this one actually it looks like it has been hung in a shop, but we'll get back to that later. I'm going to show you that one once it's framed. Now, this next piece, you've seen me get one of these before, and I'll show you the picture of it right now. See, this one says tattoo artist on it, and it's got the dragon. It's from Spaulding and Rogers. So, you probably know what's coming out of this, but it's a variant that I hadn't seen. And through the years, Tuesday I'm getting ready to celebrate my 24th year in this business. Yeah, I know. Thank you. And I've seen a ton of the tattoo artist shirts over the years. Now, back in the day, we kind of poked fun. You know, if you needed a shirt to tell people you were a tattoo artist, then you didn't have enough tattoos on you to let somebody know. But this shirt, and you can tell by, let's see. Yep, that's an old shirt. So, this shirt has the same tattoo on the top, the same dragon logo in the middle, but where it should say artist, it says 77, which I'm assuming is 1977. Now, I've never seen one of these before, but these tanks are awesome. This one I'm gonna frame with the other tank that I got. I'll probably put them in a shadow box above and below. And I've got a Spaulding and Rogers belt buckle I'll probably put right in the middle of it, just because I think that's a cool thing to have. Now, this one, it does confuse me a little bit. It's such a close match to the other tank that I have. And I've actually got pictures of people in those tanks from the 70s. So I know that those are legit Spaulding and Rogers. This one I'm not too sure about. I don't know whether S&R put these out as maybe something for people who weren't tattoo artists but still wanted a shirt that said tattoo on it. I'm not sure. I know in '77 the business was popping again. You had a bunch of people coming in that hadn't been getting tattooed. The women's movement made a huge difference in tattoo shops and kind of propelled us through the 70s and kept us going through the 70s. And even today, the ladies are definitely a huge cross section of who we tattoo. But so the business was booming in the 70s. They were coming out with a bunch of new flash and a bunch of new accessories. I'm not sure if this was a Spaulding and Rogers issue or if this was a knockoff issue. I got it because it looked cool. And it looked just like the other S&R. I'm going to try to get a hold of Tom. Hopefully Tom's watching this and he's just shaking his head going, I know the story on this thing. Tom, if you do know the story on this thing, let me know. I'd love to know the story on this thing, and I'll tell everybody else the story. And that's this shirt. I'm going to give this a conservative estimate of between $25 and $50. I think I paid $28, $29 for this shirt. It came from the same place that I actually got the other Spaulding and Rogers shirt, which and it's from Missoula, Montana. So if you see a seller on eBay from Missoula, Montana, know this. Know that the stuff that they send is always packaged well, and that everything I've gotten from them so far has been 100% legit. So I'm not doubting that this is, but I just don't know the story on it. So, Tom, I'd love to hear the story on this one, buddy. If you can leave a comment down below and let us all know, that would be awesome. Okay, so that's what we had in the mail this week. I know it was kind of short. It's it's our tax time. So, but I thought the things we got were cool. I love collecting things that you can put together. I know a lot of guys out there will like collect the flash sheet and then search out the acetates that go with it. That has got to be the hardest way to collect, man. Those guys, I commend you for tracking down that history one piece at a time and sometimes states away from each other. And don't forget, later this summer, we're going to be doing our first public appearance at the Indie Tattoo Expo. Now, I'm going to put the .com right below me here so y'all can check that out. There's going to be a bunch of artists there. There's going to be a bunch of really great collectibles there. And that's what I want you all to come out and see, man. There's going to be 5 or 6 tables of guys filled with history themselves and surrounded by history that they've collected. And they'll be more than happy, believe you me, to tell you story after story about the things that they have, including myself. So make your plans now. It's going to be on June 20, June. I'm going to get the date wrong. Somebody will be upset about that, and it'll be me. It's going to be June 19th through the 21st, 2020. There's going to be entertainment there. If you've never been to a tattoo convention, come on out and check it out, especially if you're local. And even if you're not, make some plans to come to Indy. Indy's a great town, and we're going to throw a great convention this year. So, that being said, that's pretty much all I've got for you guys this week. Next week, we're going to pick up one of our segments. I'm thinking about doing a segment called Tattoo Stories. Now, these are stories that guys tell in their tattoo chairs over and over and over. I've got 500 stories that I tell in my tattoo chair. They're things from my life, things that I've experienced. Some of them are stories I've heard from other people. What I would like is to know from the tattoo artists out there, would you like to tell these stories? Because I think people would like to hear them. People have liked to hear them in your chair. People like to hear them on this channel. So if you've got stories that you want told, definitely either email us. At the beginning of the show, it shows every way that you can get a hold of us through Instagram and through Facebook. You can also leave comments down below here, and I can get back to you. If you want to film those stories, see us at Indie Expo this year. I will be filming this segment heavily at the expo because I want to hear those stories too. So, until next week, everybody please, I want you all to do a few things this week. I want you to stay safe as always. I want you to calm down a little bit and enjoy things. And I want you to keep on collecting. Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and please hit the subscribe button down below and check out these videos. We worked real hard on these too, and I think if you enjoyed this one, you'll enjoy those too.